Toby Fox is an indie game developer, best known for creating Undertale, a genre-defining RPG that has earned an almost mythical status in internet culture. You may know it if you're here. But before Undertale captured the hearts of millions, Toby was making music and building his creative voice in a slightly different online space, Homestuck. During the webcomic's golden era, he composed some of its most iconic tracks, and even partially developed Undertale in Andrew Husse's basement. For those unfamiliar, Homestuck was this sprawling multimedia webcomic full of GIFs, flash games, chat logs, and god-tier nonsense. It had a huge fandom, and Toby's music became an emotional backbone of the series. Tracks like Suburban Jungle and the original version of Megalovania weren't just good, they elevated scenes that would have otherwise been awesome, but musically lacking. That basement detail alone feels like folklore. The idea of one internet icon incubating another under the same roof. Since we don't know too much about Hussey or Toby, we also have no clue what the process was like in that basement. However, Toby's influences from Homestuck are clear. He's also drawn inspiration from quirky, emotionally driven RPGs like Earthbound, a game he loved so much he created a Halloween hack for it. He and a visual artist named Temmie, and some playtesters of course, set out to make a game that I have gushed about just entirely too much on this channel and in my personal life. But what's a little bit more fascinating than Toby's inspirations is his presence, or rather, absence. Despite his massive success, he remains a quiet figure. No influencer persona. No constant stream of devlogs or selfies. Just the occasional cryptic blue sky post, follow me there by the way, or newsletter update when something truly important is happening with development. He's a creator who resists the expectations to be chronically online, and that makes people uneasy. Most creators today, no matter the industry, are expected to market themselves constantly. Twitch streams, behind-the-scenes videos, Ask Me Anything posts, even crying on main breakdowns. For YouTubers, of course. I'm not talking about game developers. But Toby really sidesteps all of it. He's like a reverse influencer. The less we know, the more intrigued we get. It's kind of genius, honestly, if it was on purpose, that is. But before we go in depth on that, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Sunny Dionysus. I'm an artist, a YouTuber, and most of all, an annoyance. I'm fascinated by our digital age and how fandoms shape and reshape the stories they love. If that sounds appealing, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Take the discussions around Undertale Yellow, a fan game that garnered a lot of attention. Some fans began projecting feelings onto Toby. Is he intimidated by it? Does he hate the people compare everything to Undertale? Is he annoyed that fans are still obsessed with his older work? This kind of talk crops up all the time, even on my old video about Undertale Yellow. Like, what are we even doing here? It's fan fiction. We're not doing unauthorized surgery on his dog. Even if the comments can be very nice at times, they bother me. One of the few things we do know is that Toby Fox has explicitly expressed how much he dislikes being impersonated. And frankly, I get it. When people pretend to be him, whether directly or by confidently speculating on his emotions, they risk spreading misinformation about both his character and his creative work. It's not just annoying, it's harmful. It warps community perception, often snowballing into entire narratives that Toby never consented to. So when I see someone online writing a comment like, Toby Fox would hate this, or I bet he's furious, I genuinely cringe. Not just because it might be wrong, might be right too, but because it treats Toby less like a real person and more like a fictional character we can project onto. In an age of creator overexposure, Toby's distance almost feels like a wake-up call. We don't need to fantasize about the creators of the media we love. We can honestly appreciate the work itself. That doesn't mean creator intent is irrelevant, but respecting the work also means respecting creators' privacy. When researching for this video, I saw an old interview, back when Undertale still needed a bit of support, very early on. He mentioned that, I'm sorry, I don't know anything about marketing or the industry, referring to the games industry. He always felt like someone who fell sideways into success by just making something incredibly personal and weird and good. And maybe that's why people feel such a strong connection to him. He didn't come out of a studio machine or hype cycle. He came out of a fandom basement. He feels like one of us. But here's the thing. He's not. He's not your friend. He's not your Twitter mutual. He's a person you know through the lens of a very curated creative product. This video is not trying to say that authorial intent is meaningless, or that admiration is unethical. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't be curious or inspired. I genuinely want everyone to be inspired by Toby's work and create something new and beautiful. I think that's wonderful. But what I am pushing back is this one-sided parasocial friendship some fans build in their heads, where their idea of a creator becomes more real than the creator themselves. If you've ever caught yourself wondering what Toby really thinks about something, why? What do you gain from knowing? This is a genuine question, not a judgment call. And maybe, if you sit with it, the answer says more about your relationship to the work than it ever could about Toby himself. I'm not above it. I've caught myself trying to read between the lines of vague posts before. Relating to a creator is completely normal. But I have to remind myself, it's okay to be curious, but what's not okay is building a whole fanfic in your head and commenting it down below about how he feels about Undertale Yellow for some reason. Toby isn't a toy. He's a person. Thank you for watching. And if you made it this far, maybe consider a boundary too, on or offline. P.S. Thank you so much for 3,000 subscribers. I appreciate all of you. We've been really gaining traction, and that's been fucking awesome. I really can't thank you guys enough. Thank you.